Hello everyone, Cheshire the Cat on the scene with the first class trial. I don't have any skills, so this is gonna be interesting. Let's jump right in.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
Why is Monami tied up?
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island.
Such a cruel rule.
Before we begin, I'd like to confirm one thing. Is there really a killer among us?
Most definitely. There's no doubt that the blackened is lurking among you. Such a sad state of affairs, isn't it? By the way, this class trial is gonna be 100% fair, so there's no need to worry. I'm the type who hates favoritism and prejudice. Well, not as much as I hate Monami, of course.
Really? Because in the last game, I can beg to differ from that.
Isn't that much?
Now, let's begin.
You're telling us to begin, but what are we supposed to do?
She's a masochist.
No complaining, let's just settle this with our fists.
Were you even listening to the rules? Didn't that Byakuya bastard get killed in the dining hall, huh? Then everyone there is a fucking suspect.
Yeah, what you're really trying to say is that you're not the killer, right?
No shit. You guys went off on your own and started killing each other. This has nothing to do with me.
Huh?
He's actually right.
Anyway, why don't we try talking about the most pressing issue on our minds? Huh. The most pressing issue on our minds? Where we found the body. It's very strange to find a body underneath a table.
Then, let's start with that mystery.
The reason why Byakuya's body was discovered under the table in the dining hall. We can start with that, but ultimately we need to find out who murdered him. If we can do that... No. Thinking about if is a waste of time. We have to do this, no matter what! Duh, Hinata. It's Hinata. I doubt that. Part of me thinks it's Pico, but, you know... I wonder if it might be Gundam. As weird as that sounds. From this point on, I'll provide a simple tutorials at every important moment. My prediction at first, before I get into this trial, I'm gonna throw a reminder of what my prediction was. My prediction was that Byakuya himself was going to kill somebody, but it didn't go according to plan, and he ended up getting killed instead. Something about it feels rushed, and I'm gonna figure out what it is. Irritating rudeness. As things progress during each class trial, you will be engaged in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, well, yeah, this is the same as the first game. Okay, truth bullets you find during the investigation, only relevant ones, will be loaded in the truth cylinder. Use the mouse to move the reticle, then fire with the left mouse button. Pay close attention to each character's statements and choose your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. You can press the escape key during these arguments to review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. Sonata in self-defense. Knife, bloodstain on the table, gaps on the floor bed.
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that?
His body was underneath the table at the very back of the dining hall.
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there.
Huh? Why? Obviously by hiding the body. They tried to delay its discovery! Like a dog burying a bone!
Huh? What he just said was strange. It clearly contradicts the information I know.
Why was Byakuya's body
Okay.
in a place like that?
Oop.
His body was underneath the table at the very back of the dining hall.
I'm trying to remember how to fast forward.
The killer murdered Byakuya. They probably moved the body there.
Nope.
No, that's wrong. No, I don't think the killer moved the body. Huh? Why? Try to remember what the body looked like when you found it under the table.
I need to figure out how to lower the music volume.
Everywhere. There was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through.
So that's why you think it's impossible that the killer moved the body. I see. I get your point.
Except there was a cloth that had a blood stain on it.
And here I thought I had a genius idea.
Too
No?
bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless.
I hope you get shanked.
I respond better to praise, you know.
But if the killer didn't move the body, why was it under the table?
Byakuya was probably killed under the table.
What? You think he was killed under the table?
So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown. And that's when he was killed. Then, shortly thereafter, he found his body under the table.
That does make sense, but why did he go under the table?
There was a knife down there that he had
Obviously,
painted with
he
glow
was
paint.
hiding so he could surprise us. That dude was always a big jokester.
No, he wasn't.
The hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind of person he was? Maybe he panicked during the blackout and dove under the table.
It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean he'd dive under the table.
The reason why is probably connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, don't you think?
So Byakuya dove under the table. If it's connected to what Byakuya was doing at the party, then it's probably... let's see here. Gaps in the floorboard. Night vision goggles, embarrassing pose, Duralumin case. Connected to what he was doing at the party. See, I don't want to accidentally show the wrong evidence.
I can prove it with this. It probably has something to do with the knife we found under the table.
Oh, the punishment. He's a pervert.
Knife? Oh, you mean that thing that obviously screams, I am the murder weapon!
Except it
Byakuya
wasn't.
probably noticed the knife was hidden there. So in order to get it, he moved under the table.
Because he put it there.
He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny that possibility. But how did he notice that there was a knife under the table?
If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about it before the blackout, right?
Not unless he was intending to use it.
Instead of knowing about it beforehand, maybe he saw it right at that moment. Like, for example, he might have seen someone trying to take the knife out from under the table.
No, that's not possible.
What? You seem rather confident about that.
Of course. I have proof to back me up.
This is almost like a real trial.
During the previous statement, there was only one weak spot. But from this point on, there will be various weak spots standing in your way. No matter how many weak spots there are, there will be only one lie or contradiction in the debate at a time. It means there will be false weak spots. If you shoot a false weak spot with a truth bullet, not only will you fail to refute what was said, you'll also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. When this gauge reaches 0, you will fail, so be extra careful. You have to rely on your own logic to determine the weak spots, lies, and mistakes. Yeah, you can concentrate with the space key. Does not consume the throat. Escape, so be careful. Escape key. How about fast forward? Okay. Alright, let's see what we got here.
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table during the blackout.
That sounds correct.
That is correct.
If that's the case, blackout, Mr. Ham Hands must have seen the killer take the knife.
But it was super pitch black! It was so dark I couldn't see my food! Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either. I doubt he could have seen the killer.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table during the blackout.
That sounds correct.
What is it gonna tell you how? Oh, fast forward is control.
If that's the case, during the blackout, must have seen the killer.
But it was so dark I couldn't see my food! Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
There.
No, that's wrong.
I like the little, like, wavy animation of the hair.
No, Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see in the dark.
Why do you say that?
He was using those night vision goggles we found under the table. He could have seen what was happening.
So, are you saying Byakuya was the one who used those night vision goggles?
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Your reasoning is out of focus.
Argument? Oh,
No,
this is
you're
first.
obviously wrong. It should be the other way around.
Other way around?
Seriously? The killer used those night vision goggles, not Byakuya.
This is new. Were you surprised by Mahiru's sudden argument? Just between you and me, I was also surprised. Just kidding, I'm sorry. Now then, when this kind of argument surfaces, you will go into one-on-one debate called a rebuttal showdown. In this mode, you have to counter the other person's claim, draw out their weak spots, and argue against them. Please counter the other person's remarks with the WASD keys. Based on the shape of their remarks, it's important to know whether to cut vertically, sideways, or diagonal. What? And based on that, you can skew the debate's mood to your advantage. On the other hand, if you ignore the other person's remarks, it'll skew towards their advantage. Sharpness counter being displayed. What? Marks during the round debate. So please be careful. When the mood skews to your advantage for a certain length of time, the other party's argument changes, which means the conversation will develop. If that happens, they will end up divulging some weak spots. However, you cannot normally cut remarks that contain weak spots. Instead, it'll skew the mood to other party's advantage, plus it's going to be very big. Just like a regular debate, please refute any weak points with the left mouse button. Without the correct truth blade, you will not be able to cut an opponent's remark. The truth blade, I'm terribly sorry, it appears there's been a delay in contacting you. Oh, make sure the person in charge of contacting you takes a very long vacation. Ooh, a wrench has been thrown. In this mode, truth bullets will be called truth blades. That's about it. Only their name is changed. Don't you think a change in feeling is important? Use the escape key during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. So, WASD. So now I have to play a rhythm game?
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't advance forward if I'm just listening. I should let Mahiru say what she wants and then find a point I can argue
If you
against.
just use the killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because
Okay.
if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in reality. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
What?
Damn it!
If you
Because
just
there's
use
no topic.
common sense, the killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Okay.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Kinda. Remember, this game was
Because if they
originally
used night
Japanese
vision
only.
goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Allow me to cut through those words!
Except that's not true,
No, Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night vision goggles.
because they were in the Duralumin case.
Really? But why?
Inside the Duralumin case Byakuya had with him during the party, we found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles.
Which means we can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that Duralumin case as well. Woohoo! I said assume! Ibuki never uses such clever language.
Plus, Byakuya was the only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case, since he was carrying it around before the blackout in the first place.
I see. When you put it like that, it makes sense.
Then, was that knife inside the case too?
No, it was
If there
taped
were
to the
night vision
table.
goggles inside, it wouldn't be weird for a knife to be in there too.
It would be weird.
I am weird, aren't I? At times like this, I'd rather be fantasizing about tonight's main dish.
Ooh, you totally mean that in a perverted way.
The knife was brought to the Duralumin case along with the night vision goggles too. No, that's not possible. The knife was sitting in the dining hall before the party. Should be able to prove it. Duct tape.
I see!
Because there was paint on the knife on the
Left
table.
under the table where the body was found. Huh? Duct tape. They probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table.
Oh, so that's why we found duct tape there.
Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed a weapon taped to the underside of the table.
This may be off topic, but why was Byakuya acting so paranoid? Not only did he bring a self-defense kit, but he had night vision goggles inside the case too.
That's true. He went above and beyond being a little cautious.
Now that you mention it, that applies to the dangerous items he confiscated as well.
It's one thing to be a little cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much.
He probably knew someone was planning to commit a murder.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
No, you Chunibyo.
You think so too, right, Hajime?
Yeah. Because he had that letter. Where was it? There.
I can prove it with this. Everyone, can you please take a look at this? Hey, the hell is this? Hajime and I found this in Byakuya's cottage. It looks like a threatening letter someone sent to him.
So, who's the someone?
Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
Wasn't me!
Are you sure?
The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
Those are still lies.
Doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter?
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter. What do you mean? By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act. But the letter might have been just a little prank. As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe the letter was legitimate.
He should have told us he received a threatening letter.
If he had, we would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too.
I returned for 2 minutes. Hey, final.
So, he tried to do something about it without telling anyone?
I see. Strong sense of responsibility as our leader, Miss Mizuki.
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
The killer? Is it really one of us? Who is it? Among us, who's the one that killed Byakuya?
Enough already! Show yourself, you coward!
If they were willing to come forward, they never would have committed a murder in the first place.
But I still can't believe it. Someone in this room killed Byakuya. There's no way I can believe that yet.
Pardon me. Can I say something, please?
What is it, Miss Sonia?
Whoopsh!
I regret that I must return to this topic, but
I just realized something concerning the night vision goggles. If Byakuya was indeed wearing those goggles, how did the killer manage to navigate in the dark?
You're right. They wouldn't have been able to see anything without the night vision goggles. But if the murderer had the goggles when they took the knife, then how did Byakuya see them?
Even if the knife bore some sort of mark, it would have been difficult to see it in that darkness.
Well, the killer definitely used a mark, and because of this mark, the killer was able to get there. The glowing paint.
I see! What if the glowing paint was the mark? With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark. In actuality, the knife we found under the table and the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both marked with glowing paint, right?
Does that mean the killer painted them in advance?
But painting them with glowing paint? It's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen.
They did.
Had to have already known. That's why they used the glowing paint as a mark.
Which means whoever set up the blackout is the killer.
That seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit breaker.
No.
It was you! Peko Pekoyama!
Peko killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for 2 glasses wearers?
Bruh.
Not the killer. Oh, I guess she's not.
How can you believe her so easily?
But with Pecco's height, I don't think she'd be able to reach the circuit breaker in the office.
I don't care about a technicality like that. Peko's the one who tripped the breaker and caused the blackout.
No. In the breaker directly from the office, Pico was the one who caused the blackout. No, and we can prove that that's not what happened. After this debate, blue-colored weak spots will start appearing. If we call these weak spots you've been up till now argue spots, the blue-colored weak spots will be called agree spots. When shooting agree spots with truth bullets, you need to flip your way of thinking. Oh god, this is all new. Instead of arguing with the other person's testimony contains lies or mistakes, please fire the truth bullets that prove the other person's testimony is correct. When your truth bullets merge with their weakness, it will become a logically sound agreement. Isn't it a little hot in here? From now on, you must infer whether it's best to argue or agree based on what's being debated. If you press the escape key during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. And have fun we shall in the next episode. Until then, we'll continue the class trial next time. For now, this is Cheshire the Cat, signing off. See you next time, everyone.